In the grand theater of global finance, the illusion of wealth often blinds us to a fundamental truth. All money is debt. That's right. Even the dollars tucked away in our wallets, the digital checking balance visible on our mobile screens, the unimaginable market cap of listed companies like Apple, and the money printed and spent by the government, all of it is actually debt. This unsettling reality is deeply woven into the fabric of our economic system, where every dollar carries the weight of a debt obligation. It's a concept that challenges our conventional understanding of currency and prompts us to question the very nature of our financial foundation. So, get ready, as we're about to dive into one of the most thought-provoking ideas you'll ever come across. At the heart of this revelation lies the concept of credit creation, a mechanism by which money is magically brought into existence through the act of borrowing. When a bank extends a loan, it doesn't merely transfer existing funds, it creates new money, and with it, a corresponding debt. This process is basically the business model of modern banking, but its implications extend far beyond the walls of financial institutions. On each dollar deposited into banks, they are allowed to lend out a certain percentage of it to others. So, if this ratio is, let's say, 90%, then for every $10 deposited into banks, they are legally allowed to lend out 9 to borrowers. No big deal, right? Well, here's the catch. Let's say you have 10, and you deposit them into a bank, and then the bank lends you 9, which you then again deposit into the bank. What happens now is that the bank can again lend out 90% of that $9, meaning that only on your $10 was the bank able to loan out nearly $17, and this multiplier effect goes on till we keep on depositing the money into banks. Think about how much money is actually a result of this cycle as we move on to the next aspect of this story. Consider the dollar in your pocket. It represents not just a medium of exchange, but a debt instrument, a claim on future resources and labor. In this intricate dance of credit and debt, every dollar is someone's asset, but simultaneously, it is also someone else's debt. This symbiotic relationship between assets and liabilities is the very essence of our monetary system. Even the United States government, the authoritative issuer of the dollar, is well caught up in this intricate web of debt. The notion that governments can simply print money to meet their obligations is a deceptive oversimplification, because when the government issues new currency, it is in essence creating debt. This might sound counterintuitive. How can a sovereign entity be indebted to itself? To understand this paradox, let's try to understand what goes on into the world of government spending. The United States has consistently operated with budget deficits, where expenditures exceed revenue. This perpetual imbalance has led to a mounting national debt, a figure that reached a staggering $33 trillion in 2023. The reason behind this can be the fact that the U.S. hasn't witnessed a budget surplus since 2001. This insight should give pause to those who assume the government's ability to print money grants it limitless financial freedom. The uncomfortable truth is that the government's spending spree is essentially borrowing from future generations, burdening them with the weight of colossal debt obligations. Analogously, imagine a family consistently spending more than their income, relying on credit cards to bridge the gap. While they may enjoy a lifestyle beyond their means in the short term, the mounting debt becomes an ever-present shadow, casting doubt on the sustainability of their financial well-being. The government's fiscal behavior mirrors this dangerous balancing act, where the illusion of prosperity is maintained through a continuous influx of borrowed funds. In fact, the very foundation of capitalism, often celebrated as a promoter of wealth creation, rests on a delicate balance of credit and debt. Businesses, too, are entangled in this intricate dance, relying on loans and lines of credit to fuel expansion and innovation. The mirage of prosperity is maintained through a perpetual cycle of borrowing and repayment, a cycle that binds individuals, corporations, and governments alike. Critics of this perspective may argue that the sheer size and economic prowess of the United States shield it from the perils of excessive debt. However, historical precedents caution against such complacency. The rise and fall of empires throughout history bear witness to the corrosive effects of unsustainable debt levels. For example, Rome, once the epitome of power and opulence, crumbled under the weight of its own fiscal irresponsibility. As we navigate the complex terrain of modern finance, it's crucial to acknowledge the symbiotic relationship between money and debt. The dollars in our possession, seemingly inert symbols of wealth, are, in truth, dynamic instruments tethered to a vast network of obligations. Understanding this intrinsic link invites us to question the stability of our financial system and contemplate the long-term consequences of a world where every dollar is, at its core, a debt waiting to be repaid. In the United States alone, the national debt has seen an alarming trajectory over the years. As of 2000, the national debt stood at $5.6 trillion, and by 2010, it had nearly doubled to $13.6 trillion. Fast forward to the end of 2023, and this figure has ballooned to a staggering $33 trillion. These numbers paint a vivid picture of a nation consistently spending beyond its means, relying on borrowed funds to sustain its economic activities. Like in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, the U.S. government unleashed unprecedented fiscal stimulus measures, further amplifying the nexus between money creation and debt. The CARES Act alone, passed in March 2020, allocated $2.2 trillion in relief funds, contributing significantly to the ballooning national debt. While these measures were deemed necessary to mitigate the economic fallout of the pandemic, they underscore the inherent trade-off between short-term stability and long-term fiscal sustainability. The consequences of this debt-fueled economy are not limited to just theoretical damages. They are well realized in ways us humans can feel. The interest on the U.S. national debt alone has become a substantial portion of the annual budget. In 2022, the federal government spent approximately $522 billion on interest payments, representing a significant chunk of taxpayer dollars that could have been allocated to essential services and programs. Now, internationally, the United States' status as the issuer of the world's primary reserve currency adds another layer to the complexity of the debt narrative. The global demand for U.S. dollars ensures a constant influx of foreign capital, enabling the United States to sustain its deficit spending. However, this privilege comes with its own set of challenges, as any deviation from fiscal responsibility can trigger ripple effects across the global economic landscape. As we reach towards the end of this video, we want you to give this idea a thought. Is your money even yours? Or is it just borrowed money that you get to hold on for a few years of your life? That's it for this video. See you next time with another thought-provoking idea. Till then, goodbye.